Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on CapnclydesMTG. Today, we got a couple cards that are making some moves, at least a little thanks to Aether Drift, and a new combo deck in Pioneer that you just got to see. It's the amount of salt that this thing is spewing on people. And to be fair, if this happened to me, I'd be busy too. So, before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe. Links in the description down below. eBay, TCG, become a YouTube member, Patreon, all that good jazz is down there. Visit us on Twitch or in the Discord. Come game. Let's play something besides by ourselves. Anyway, so the cards that are moving this week we should probably look into is definitely this little fella. And by little, I mean the Overlord of Balmerk. He has spiked quite handsomely. And there's lots of reasons behind this, and some of them I'm not even sure are real, because they're kind of outlandish. But let's just say this: the Overlord works with Greasefang. We talked about Greasefang because it puts cards from the top of your library into you mill 4 cards, right? So you can make your Greasefang work. This is a turn 2. Greasefang's a turn 3. It's just a thing. But this is also very popular in some standard decks where, honestly, you just pick up the good stuff out of your graveyard because anything that's a non-avatar creature card or planeswalker can be put in your hand. So, lots of popularity for this guy. So, if you haven't got him, it's probably a little late by now because he's spiking pretty heavy from where he was, as you can see, down in the close to $9 range. He is now back up in the 20s. But hey, if you need him, you're probably going to have to pay for him. So, I mean, it could be worse, right? Right? Probably not. Anyway, other cards making a move, we've already talked about him, is the Exuberant Shepherd, the goodest of boys. In Commander and Pioneer and other formats, the ability for this thing to exile things to get ETB triggers and other stuff is pretty sweet. It's cheap to cast. It has flash. There's just a lot of things going on here, making it a really good card. It has done nothing but go up. It did dip down below $2, but it has now rose to the occasion, if you will, to about $3.50 to $4. And it's looking like it's probably going to stay there for a while. Becoming a very popular card in many of the Modern and Pioneer decks. Also, we have another card that we just talked about, Dr. Madison Lee, with a severe spike of 75%. That's right, it has went from 20 cents to 37. I mean, to be fair, that is over a doubling of its price. But anyway, I think we're going to see this card, especially as a mythic, get a lot more popular and a lot more pricey with Aether Drift coming out, especially if there's some cool energy synergies and the fact that, well, this is Fallout. It's not going to be reprinted. The boxes to open are already god-awful expensive. I'm not sure how this card is so cheap, just because of how much the box costs. So take that with a grain of salt, if you will, and I'd definitely go pick a couple of these up if I was you. I'm just saying. I mean, even if it's the boring one like this instead of the cool ones, like just get one. Next we have Emery. That's right. Of course, Aether Drift causes Emery to spike. So more artifacts to put in the graveyard, more artifacts to crew, more artifacts with ETB. So 100% increase. It's only $2.50 to $3 around about. Give or take what you're looking for. So that's fine. It is a great card in general. It's a command card for Commander that's actually the main of most decks. Because let's be fair, it costs 1 less to cast for every artifact in play. So when you kill this, if they have 3 artifacts in play, it still costs basically 1 mana. So it's kind of hard to keep this thing off the battlefield. I'm just going to say that. Possible, but very hard. Very hard. So, yeah, expect this thing to get a lot more popular when more vehicles come out. I'm kind of surprised, like, as popular as artifacts are, that we, well, I mean, I guess we had Brothers War, Transformers, with lots of artifact sets. Lots of artifact sets. Anyway, moving on. So, with that said, let's talk about what's going on in Pioneer. You're going to love this, because I know I do. So there is a mono red Pioneer deck that's just murking people. Just destroy them. One-shot style. So here's the combo. Well, we'll start over here with Dominance, okay? 2 red and 2. 5/4. The big thing here, if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. So, what's going on? I'm trying to stop from laughing. Is Screaming Nemesis is hitting the battlefield. Okay? And clearly so is this. So if you bolt Screaming Nemesis, it's going to bolt you back for 6 because of this. Okay? But what else is happening is they're playing Chandra's Defeat, which for 1 red is an instant, deals 5 damage to target red creature or red planeswalker. Notice the red creature. If that permanent is a Chandra planeswalker, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Yada, yada, yada. Basically, for 1 red, you're shooting your own dude for 5, which then becomes 10 when you when you lob it at your opponent's face. Because of this. And it's just epic. In so many ways. Yeah, it's so funny. But wait, there's more. There's other cards in the deck, or we could call this the cheap version of how to get this combo to go off. Lightning Axe, which does 5 damage as well, Boros Reckoner, and Insult. So, you put Boros Reckoner on the battlefield. It says whenever Boros Reckoner is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target opponent. Anyway, so this works just like Screaming Nemesis. So basically, you have 8 copies of Nemesis. This works the same as the Chandra card we just saw. So now you have 8 copies of this. I mean, this one you got to discard a card, but I really don't think you care. But Insult says, damage can't be prevented this turn. If a source you control would deal damage this turn, it deals double that damage. This is even a better combo than what I showed you, because on turn 3, you can lay a Reckoner. If they don't deal with it, they probably will. But if they don't, on your next turn, you lay your 4th land, sorry. You cast Insult. Now, damage can't be prevented. If a source you control would deal damage this turn, it doubles. You then Lightning Axe your Boros Reckoner, or the previous card with Chandra. Because you're dealing damage, this is now, instead of 5, it's 10 to the Reckoner, and then the Reckoner is going to deal damage to the opponent, which is now 20. Literally one-shotting them. And if that doesn't work and they're still alive for some reason, you could do 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player for 3 with injury. But anyway, so this is the new deck in Pioneer, apparently. And it's silly, it's dumb. It's probably easy to stop. But I'm here to tell you that I'm here for this. Like, this is the degeneracy that I expect from Magic. And this is in Pioneer of all things. Like, Pioneer don't have the best removal. Like, there's not Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshare. There's not cool removal floating around that's going to help get this stuff out of the way. And if you are running that removal, yeah, you'll live, but what are you doing with the rest of your cards? Because some of you guys have realized Pioneer is a little heavy on the combo side, or just big fat creatures. Take your pick. Not a lot of room for, what would you say, mid-range decks? So yeah, I thought you guys might get a kick out of that. God, I know I did when I seen this happening. I I don't have a deck list or anything like that. I've showed you the 6 cards of the most important thing in the deck. And that's 24 cards out of the deck. That's damn near the whole deck. Just throw some mountains in, call it gravy. But yeah, I giggled like a schoolgirl when I saw this. And now I hope this also made your day to let you giggle like a schoolgirl as well. So, with that said, guys, until the next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. God, I hope I never play against this. Jesus.